All right, hello. This video is to go over some tips and tricks for using Google Slides using a slideshow that my students are currently working on. I like to do templates for my students to just take the information and change it somehow. So, for example, this is a slideshow that's all about me. I created one using my own pictures and examples, and I want the students to simply erase what I have and put their own information in. So they would link to this straight through Google Classroom. They'd have their own copy to work on. And then to change things, you just click where you want to change. So I want my students to change their name here. So let's pretend I have Johnny Cash, the man in black, in my classroom. He would change his name here and then move to the next slide. So the next slide I have them working on, again, they can click into the text box and change the name. And this student would then change this information. I went through this with my students live so that they kind of got to know me as well as me getting to know them through the distance learning thing. And then I told them to erase some of these, erase the pictures as well. And to do that, to teach the students how to do that, I just told them to click on the picture they do not want to be there. So erase my pictures, so they can take this, and once they have it highlighted and clicked on, they can just hit backspace on their Chromebook and it will go away. If you accidentally delete a photograph, you can hit the undo button. And that's pretty key for a lot of different editing things here on Google Slides. I find I often make mistakes and I need to undo and go back to my beginning part. Okay, and you can click that a couple different times. So I can go back and it will take me back to where I changed the name. And then I can also go forward and bring it back. Okay, so those are some of the features of the undo and redo button. You can resize an image. So once you have it highlighted like it is now, so let's pretend it wasn't highlighted. So here, let's pretend I want this bigger. I just have to go to the corner of the photo, and then when it shows the two black arrows facing away from each other, you just click and drag. If you want to move where the photo is, you want it to have the 4 arrows that's shown now, and you can just click, again, hold, click, and drag, and move it around. Another thing that you can do is you can turn the photo. So if I wanted to angle my photos, let me resize a little bit more. I go to where this circle is, and then I click and kind of drag to the right or the left, and it will angle my photos. It actually tells you the angle that they're going to as well, which is kind of cool if you're a math nerd, which I'm a little bit of. Okay, so that's how to move and resize and delete photos. I'm going to use the next slide as the example of how to insert photos. Okay, so this is another, again, this is for my students to replace my information with theirs. So I wrote some of my favorite things here. There are several ways to insert photos and different places you can grab them from. And there's 2 places here. Here's a little, I can't even think what that's called, a little tool right here that says insert image. But there's also on the toolbar a whole section of insert, and it gives you options for images. You can add a text box, which I'll talk about later in the video. If you wanted to narrate this, meaning talk through it, you could. There's a video option, shapes, tables, charts, diagrams, word art, and lines. But for the purpose of this slide, I just want to focus on images. So they give you some options. You can upload from the computer. So if you have some saved onto your hard drive, you can upload them there. You can search the web, which I will come back to. If you have any in Google Drive, you can add them from there. Google Photos is an application that will store photos for you. You're welcome to add them from there. By URL, which is through little websites that you can grab and put the link in there. And then you can actually use the camera on the Chromebook to take a photo and import. So I'll show you what that looks like, even though I look terrible today. So here's the camera. There we go. So hi, there's the camera. If you have not used this feature before, you will have to allow it to use your camera, Google Slides to use your camera. So there it is, use my camera, and I can take a picture by clicking the yellow button. Yay! And then I can take that photo and click. I'm wondering if I can double click. Nope, I have to click insert. So that will insert my photo, and that's where I can then take it and make it bigger. I can angle it. I can turn it upside down if I really want to. Whatever I want to do, I can now play with that photo, and I can resize it. Same things apply. Okay, so I'm going to delete it. So that is how to use your camera. Now I'm going to show you how to search from the web. So when you go to the image and you key down to search the web, it brings up a search box over here for Google Images. So for example, if I ask my students to put something that's their favorite, they could put Fortnite in, very popular, Fortnite, and then here we go. They might put some of these images in, and you can just click, drag, and drop. You will almost always have to resize the images. They're usually too big, and they're usually where you do not want them. So you'll have to resize and move them around. But again, it's just the same. You're just looking for those arrows pointing in all directions, and then you click and drag to move the photo around. You can search almost anything on here, and it will bring it up. So I'm trying to think. If I like Justin Timberlake, I can look up Justin Timberlake, and there he is. You can look up people. You can look up places. So I could put a swimming pool because I put here that I like pool time with a good book. So I could take a photo of a swimming pool and put it in there. It's very comprehensive. There's a lot of images to choose from, and you can scroll down and look through many of them to decide which one to put. So that is how to add through the search feature. I asked my students to tell me things they're good at, something they missed from the pandemic, places they've traveled to, places I would like to travel to, and then a text box here I wanted to show. So I'm going to close this image search. I'm done with the image searching. And I want to show you if you want to add a text box. So say I want to add something to this, like what's another teacher thing about me? I am very patient. Okay, so I told my students I wanted them to know about me that I'll always give them a second chance, and I won't give up on them. Second, third, 900th chance. Honestly, I'm pretty patient with the kids. So I'm very patient, but maybe I don't want it to be in this spot, and maybe I want it to be in its own, very own spot. I don't like it here, and when I hit tab, I don't really like it any of these places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase it for now. And I can also reposition the text boxes, by the way. So if you want to do like a half and half page and do half text and then or a photo in between. So let's do a photo. Why not? We just did that. So search the web. If I want to put patience in here, I can put patience. Dun, 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 and I'll get some weird things here. Here, I'll put a time stamp. Why not? Put a time emoji. And then I can take a text box and create one next to it that says, I am very patient. I can make the font different sizes. That's the other purpose of me doing this. So I am very patient. I'll type that in and a period because it's a sentence. I can highlight that. I can make it bigger by just clicking the plus signs. I can hand type this font size I would like. I can change what kind of font it is. So if I want it scrolly looking, I can do that. And then I want it even bigger. I can change the color. Now, colors are important because you have some teachers with some old eyes, that's me included, and you don't want to choose those texts that's hard to read. So for example, in the past, I've had students that are like, I'm going to put yellow font there. That is not easy for Ms. Claypool to read. So if you're deciding to use a lighter font, you can highlight that font in a darker color, and that will make it easier for me to read. So I'll put it in blue, and look at that. I'm very patient, in blue and yellow. That's very easy to read. You can also center your text in a text box. So if you see this feature here, it says align. If you click here and choose the one that's in the middle, there is my centered text. Okay, there's all sorts of things you can do on Google Slides. If you want to choose a different template, so let me go to a blank slide. If you go to this tab that says Slides, it has Apply Layout. And so here it describes them: a title slide, a section header, title and body, title slide, section, or I'm sorry, title in 2 columns, title only, 1 column text. There's all kinds to choose from. I typically work from blank, or I'll just erase what's there because it's just easier for me to just add what I want. So again, you can add text box. You can add another text box. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry, my bad. It didn't like it because I didn't type anything in it yet. What up? So I'll put something, and then I want another text box later, farther down on the slide. Maybe I want to do bullet points on a slide. So here's where the bullet points, it's in the more section. Here's a bullet point. I can do several bullet points. Once you type it in, so 1, 2, enter 3, it'll continue to make them. If you want a sub point, you can hit tab 4. There's my 4th point. Okay. If I want to do an image, then I want to do an image or a, oh, whoops, that doesn't give me all of the options. So maybe I want to do a chart. It gives me options from charts. So here's, let's pretend there's inserting a pie chart. There's a chart. Okay. There's all kinds of things you can do with slides. I really recommend playing with it because it's kind of fun sometimes. But yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do. Oh, one last thing I wanted to show you is how to change the background. So I'm going back to my first slide. I can go to background. I can choose image. I'm going to click there. And I've already put something in my search, but there's same things: upload, camera, by URL, photos, do Google Drive, Google image search. And I can grab a background here and click insert and then done. It will only change the background on the one slide that you choose. Okay, so bear that in mind, and bear in mind the color choices. So I might want to highlight this so it's easier to read. I might want to just straight up change the font to a different color. Let me change, oops, let me change Johnny's font color. So I can change the font color to, whoops, wrong button, to white. And oh, it didn't do it. My bad. I didn't hit it hard enough. Come here. Come on. No, I'm not trying to move it. I'm trying to, where's my cursor? There it is in the front. I don't really like it in the front, but that's okay. So it's highlighted now. And then I go to my font color and I can go to white. And there he is. Okay, a little bit easier to read. So please bear that in mind. Lots of things and options to play with. Don't get too crazy on the colors or the font because, again, it needs to be easy to read and understand. That is the purpose of a slideshow. Okay? If you have questions, you can send me an email or comment in Google Classroom if you are in my classes. Thanks.